Hey there, everyone. This is Mystic Fish, and welcome to episode 27 of our Factorio series on building an expandable base. Last episode, we took a look at the builder train, and we really only have a couple things left to do. This episode, I want to look at solid fuel production, and we just need solid fuel for a couple things. One, if you remember, we have a version of our steam power that runs on solid fuel, and so we need a belt worth of solid fuel here. And in addition, I think it would be nice to be able to run our smelting off of solid fuel as well, just to save on how much coal we need to bring into the base. So this begins with a little bit of factory planning. So let's see. If we take a look at all of the sciences, what I have done is taking a look at all of the things that produce smelting. And in this case, we can see that, for example, we need 78,953 copper plates per minute when we're going at full capacity. So now when we're doing this, we're going to be using electric furnaces. So we don't need smelting fuel anymore at that point, but we do need it when we're doing sort of the red belt versions of this. So we'll need the same number of red belts as blue belts. So in this case, we need 29.2 blue belts worth of copper plates, and so we need the same number of belts when we have red belts. But the items, in this case, if we take a look at 78,953, a red belt only does 2/3 as much throughput as a blue belt. So if we multiply that by 2/3, we get 52,000 something. And so what I have done is I've got a new factory plan for solid fuel, and I have set things up so that for all of the smelted items, including the iron plate and the steel, and the copper and the stone bricks that we need for doing all of the science, I have calculated how much of that stuff we want to produce. I've used preferences so that we're using steel furnaces so that they consume fuel, and I've used solid fuel as the preferred fuel source for all of those. And then I've also added 900 items per minute. That's a full yellow belt worth of solid fuel for the event that we need to extend the steam power plant up to that point. So we put all that stuff together, running through the factory planner, and that tells us that we need this much sort of oil processing here. In order to do that, I decided to go with a version that just used tier 1 modules and beacons. In this case, it turns out that this is sort of a small enough number of stuff, but basically 8 oil refineries, a little bit of cracking. That's we have to get rid of the heavy oil. We're not going to really use that for anything. And then mostly consuming the light oil in order to produce the solid fuel, but also burning off the any excess petroleum gas as solid fuel as well. And so basically we took our basic generic oil processing and put all that stuff together to produce something like this. So here's our 8 refineries. We've got 3 chem plants doing cracking. In this case, it looks like I need to update these and correct these blueprints. This will be how we stamp it down initially. And then we've got a bunch of the light oil. So the light oil comes out of here. Basically, we're cracking all the heavy oil. Light oil comes out of here and then comes into the solid fuel production. We've got most of it down here. Here's the rest of it up here. The output belt starts on this side and then comes down this way. And then we have the petroleum gas here is getting pumped up this direction. And here we have a pump that prioritizes sending this up. We'll use this petroleum gas here for the mall. The mall does have some petroleum products that we need to produce there, notably red circuits. And so that will go there. And then the rest of it will get turned into solid fuel. We need to burn off the petroleum gas somehow. And we have output belts for those as well. And then we have a lane balancer. And then this splitter here prioritizes the input from the petroleum gas. If we back up on petroleum gas, then we're going to have a hard time continuing to make progress. So we want to prioritize getting the petroleum gas out of there. Okay. If we run out of petroleum gas, then obviously we would turn to consuming the light oil. But so we'll consume the petroleum gas first, then we'll consume the light oil, and that will produce all of the solid fuel. And then I have one assembly machine that's producing rocket fuel. This is primarily going to be used for fueling trains. So initially this will be rocket fuel, then eventually it will become nuclear fuel once we get there. If you remember, our nuclear plant does have facilities for doing that, but we just need to make a little bit of rocket fuel available in the logistics network. The trains really won't consume it that fast. So I think one assembly machine here will be sufficient. Let's see, while I'm at this, I'm going to update this blueprint since I just modified those beacons. So let's grab some new content here. For this guy, we don't need the tiles and we don't need that radar, and then we'll keep the rest of it. Okay, save blueprint. Great. And so this was sort of how we set up initially. I am gonna let's explore this funky belt stuff that's going on here. So the way to think about it is these are working in pairs, so that each pair of machines produces on both sides of the output belt. So in this case, this machine is putting on the outside of this belt, and then it comes down here and comes on the inside of this belt. This machine puts on the outside of this belt. So between the two of them, on this output belt here, they're actually putting on opposite sides of the belt. Then when we come over here, we basically continue the same belt. It jumps over here and continues, and then we do the same thing. And so, and we have that set up all along here, and so that makes sure that we are, generally speaking, producing on both sides of the belt equally. And then there's actually another upgrade here, so we can also drop the beaconized version of this. When we do that, we want to upgrade all of these modules to be productivity modules once we have the speed modules in the beacons. And that is going to be the final version of solid fuel that we have. So, you know, not really very much going on here. Pretty straightforward. We've seen a lot of this oil processing blueprint so far already. So that is a quick one for today. So bonus quick episode there. But we are getting closer, but we have knocked that one out. So that is exciting. And so what's left? Next episode, I think we're going to do the final design. The final design is going to be the jump start base. And once we have that in place, I think we can start the playthrough. And that is exciting. This has been a long time coming. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. I've been waiting for it too. I can't wait to get going. But it has been satisfying to do all these designs. I can't wait to see them in action. But this takes care of our solid fuel for right now. And like I said, next episode we'll do jumpstart base. But that will be a problem for future Mystic Fish. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And until then, bye.